I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
Well, I just messed up the original intro, but Zach had the perfect intro to the first one. So
Go Birds!
go Birds, everybody!
Go Birds!
If you're not from Philly, fuck you. No, I'm kidding.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. No, hey, go Birds. NFC.
Hey, let's go.
This is from 2017, but
It's 52.
But hey,
He's got 52. I've got 57.
there we go. Wow, Super Bowl 50. Wow, that's crazy.
5 years, dude.
Damn. But hey, we're back in the Super Bowl, baby. Let's do it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
And I'm so I mean, it would have been cool if it was the best. I know this isn't Stars. No, this isn't
Hey, Stars and Marvels.
Stars and Marvel episode 26. I know this isn't nerd talk right now, but we also like sports too. So
We're getting there.
we're getting there. But I'm like really excited that it is the Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I don't like Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know why. Oh. He seems like a nice guy. Like he seems like a genuinely like pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
But like I just for some reason it's just kind of like that Tom Brady thing where like you win too much and you need to lose. Like
it's pretty funny, especially because I get what you mean. I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. In all actuality, it's funny because I think this is the most like I think Kansas City is the team I could possibly dislike the least that we play.
Yeah, and I mean because I could easily Reed, like you know.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that bothers me the most about Kansas City. I like most of the players that are the Chiefs, and I like Andy Reid too. But yeah, no, I don't want him to win because that just proves he did the right thing leaving us.
Yeah.
So like we already proved we were better off without him because we got our Super Bowl before he got his Super Bowl. And then, but now he's got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Yeah. He. I forget what year it was, but they got the Super Bowl after us.
I think it wasn't it the year like
53?
I think so. Yeah, because that was when they played no, it was 50. It was 54 because the next year was Patriots, Rams, I think, or Chargers.
Wait, no, didn't he lose to? Didn't they?
And then the next year was the 49ers and Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs won that year.
Okay.
I forget.
The Chiefs. I was thinking Chiefs played the Buccaneers and they lost. The Buccaneers won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, they destroyed them. Yeah.
So that's what I think that's what I was getting confused. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm gonna play with my hair for a while. But yeah, Andy Reid's actually the thing I dislike the most about their team. But like if it was Cincinnati, I would have hated Joe Burrow. That would have been an easy one to hate. If it was who else? If it was the Buffalo Bills, I would have hated their fan base.
I wish it was the Bills. I love the Bills. They're like my second favorite team. I
like the Bills, and I have friends that are the Bills
because their fan base is so close to ours. They're just a bunch of like scumbag Northeastern, like, you know, just like they get shit-faced drunk at all their games, and
you know the reason why
I dive onto tables.
The reason why I'm glad it's not the Bills or Cincinnati is because, and I never thought I would hear myself say this, I never want to have the story for a Super Bowl be another team trying to get their first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's true. The Eagles aren't that team anymore. That's what makes this, again, the Chiefs game such a good enemy, is because we both have a Super Bowl. It's not about that.
It's not about who it's not about someone getting there first. It's who can get the next one.
Who just wants it
more, who can add to their dynasty.
So I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I wish I was going home. For reasons we talked about off the podcast, I will not be coming home, but I'm sure I will be FaceTiming everyone, win or lose.
Every touchdown, you got to FaceTime in for the Eagles chant.
We'll do.
Hell yeah. And of course for this one, it's brother versus brother. Jason Kelce versus Travis Kelce, which is pretty cool.
That's great.
First time that's ever happened.
That's wild. It's really cool. I just this really couldn't have been written better unless it's all rigged. Which sure, why not?
I will say though, I mean, I was excited and went crazy when they won the game on Sunday. Was it this past? No, it wasn't this past Sunday.
Yeah, it was this past Sunday.
This past Sunday. Okay,
this Sunday is the first break. Is the
That's
only
what
break.
it is. Yeah. I will say though, I think I went more crazy when the Phillies went to the World Series. I don't know why. I just feel like it's more of an anticipation because they have to win 4 games rather than just a 1-game series. I mean, I was pumped. Don't get me wrong. When the Eagles,
No, I got
was
you.
screaming and running around, but like I think anticipatory and like running, like
Plus, Phillies were underdogs. They were wild card,
complete underdogs.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is we are not under. I don't know what the spread is anymore. If we're still the favorites in that too, but like the Eagles have been the literal best team in the NFL, second best team in the NFL all year.
I mean, that's all. Like when anybody ever talks about the Eagles, like on ESPN or whatever, it's like, oh, the best team in the league, the best team in the league, the best whatever, the best team in the East, best everything. It's weird hearing that because usually it's like, oh, like when we won in 2017, we were the underdogs. We were the the team that But it looks like we're favored to win.
-3,
-1.5.
Oh, it went down. It was -2 before.
Ooh.
Yeah,
so if you're the minus, you're favored to win.
If you listen to my Philly Sports podcast, Philly Sports Now on all platforms,
check it out.
But we've talked about, I actually have a Eagles winning the Super Bowl bet from September, and obviously ready to cash that in.
Yeah, hell yeah! Would you do it like one of the sports books or something?
It was
Or did you just do it on DraftKings?
I did it on FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of those like FanDuel was having a promotion where it was like put $50 on a team to win the Super Bowl, and every game they win, you'll get $5 back. And I was like, oh, so like I'm making money.
Yeah.
Which of course, I lost all the $5 bets that I won back. Like that money just went into the pit.
Yeah.
But what I never expected was to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And here we are, and I'm waiting to cash this sucker of a bet out.
Hell yeah. I think Owen might have done that because I know every year, whenever we're in the in a casino, Owen will go up to the sports book and put, $10 on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, or $10 on the Sixers to win the champion, the finals. So
that's it's like I say this like I'm some genie or something, where the last Sixers, I didn't do it this year for the Sixers. Last Sixers season, I definitely put Sixers to win it all, and that just went nowhere. Last year, I went Phillies to win it all, and that got as close as we did. Yeah. And again, the only reason I did this, I wasn't even going to do it, but there was a FanDuel promotion. I was like, yeah, screw it, why not?
Yeah,
like,
might as well
do it. And here we are, waiting for that cash money.
Here we are. What 2 weeks away?
We'll see. But that's what, like, I definitely, I know I've talked to Andrew about it, but like, I'm not going to bet on the Phillies to win the World Series again, because even if they do, like, the chances of them going back-to-back World Series, like, I know this team is going to win a World Series. I just don't know.
I don't know
like, the likelihood
next year.
of it.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. So I can't bet on that.
Yeah.
So this is it. This is the Eagles have to win this bet, and I'm done.
And then we're out.
We're out until I come back with that money. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's a little Philly sports action on Stars and Marvels. But welcome to unless you had anything else. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Nah, I'm good. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Welcome to episode 26 of Stars and Marvel. We're doing another DC episode. I know people are probably thinking, what the hell? This is Stars and Marvel, not Stars and DC. But James,
shut your mouth.
Shut your whore mouth. James Gunn and Peter Safran, the new co-directors of DC, released their sort of tentative next year or two slate for their DC universe. They're making the Marvel universe they're making their own Marvel universe with DC. Basically, they're not going to mess it up like Warner Brothers did. So yeah,
it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to go over this list.
It's a big list.
It's very James Gunn.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll just put the picture up now.
Perfect. Yeah. Let's do it.
Talking about it. So I will. I don't think. Okay, it's Heroes something. Heroes. This whatever this is down here. That's
thanks that guy.
Thank you to this person.
Thank you that guy. But yeah, I say he started with it in his conference, so I say start with Elseworlds.
Yeah,
clever name. I just want to start off with because that is very much a DC comic book thing.
Yeah,
Elseworlds. So him just pulling that out of his ass, I was like, dude. While I'm gonna disagree with these decisions, well done. Like that was just smart.
And I like that they're gonna distinctively have two different universes all in the DCU. Because like that's what I was thinking. Like, because they have the Joker, the Batman. Like the Joker is more of an art housey, like cinematic type movie rather than like, the flashy in your face, like Shazam or the Superman movie, stuff like that. It's more, it's more director focused, I guess would be, so I didn't know how that would fit in with like, Batman the Brave and the Bold and Superman Legacy and then depressive ass manic Joker. Like,
yeah.
But I'm glad they're doing that elsewhere thing, or Elseworlds, distinction.
It's clever, and also I think I just said it, but like I'm a little it's got a taste in my mouth I don't like. And we kind of talked about it before that I don't, and it's going to be, when we talk about, okay, let's just do it. It's Batman. I don't want, and I'm going to disagree with people because some people love the Batman, and I really like the Batman. I think the Batman was better than Batman Begins as the movie goes. Like, I don't think it's better than The Dark Knight. I think that's pretty normal to say, but I think it's better than Batman Begins. And saying that about the first movie in the series, I think that means a lot. I think it's great. I think Robert Pattinson is maybe
it works.
Has potential to be the best Batman we've ever seen. Like he's great. We don't know his Bruce Wayne yet, really. So who knows if that's good or not, but I love his Batman, especially like detective stuff. But like all that being said, look, I get they greenlit Batman Part 2 already, the Batman Part 2, and that's what they want to go through with it. And I get it, but like at the end of the day, and here's what I think, Brendan, I'm really curious how you feel, because at the end of the day, the Batman is it's getting its momentum because it's a down to earth, gritty Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We did that.
Yeah,
we did that. That was The Dark Knight.
We've had that,
and like I liked this Batman compared to Snyderverse Batman, and I loved the idea that this was going to be our Batman going forward. But I don't love this Batman enough, I think, to be like, oh yes, he deserves his own universe and Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, and another Batman to add on to it. Yeah.
And that's really, that hurts to say because it is all you and but like the Batman the Brave and the Bold sounds great, and I'm excited for that concept of a movie.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just don't think the Batman deserves its own thing. It's the only thing I can think of is maybe like years down the road they're gonna do like a multiversal what do they do on the Flash and Arrow, they're gonna do a Crisis movie. They're gonna do a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie, and it's the same thing with the Joker. I liked the Joker. I don't care enough about it that it's gonna continue or that it's not.
Yeah,
but like that is, in my mind, the only reason these two things are coexisting. Like it's to build up stuff to have for Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Exactly. Yeah, like the whole like Superman,
and the checks have already been written.
Yeah. One thing I'm very surprised that one thing I'm very surprised is that Teen Titans Go is in the DC Elseworlds. Like I feel like that's its own thing to begin with. You know what I mean? Like being a cartoon on Cartoon Network. Like
I think he mentioned that just as an example to point out that anything, like literally anything DC moving forward is going to be part of the DC universe one way or another.
Okay.
So for example, I remember in another, I forget if it was in an interview or a press conference or whatever, in another quote, he said video games were going to be included in the DC universe.
I did hear that too. Yeah.
So like that's absurd. That's That's crazy. But although Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is Star Wars canon, right? So
Yeah,
it's a
but
similar
it's
idea
more feel like
there.
cinematic. Like those games are very cinematic that they tie. I mean, I guess going forward, whatever DC games they come out with, maybe they'll be like Jedi Fallen Order, where it coexists in the same universe.
Right.
But
that's what so I assume there's a Suicide Squad game that hasn't come out yet, and I assume he's going to specifically be like, that's Elseworlds. Like, he's just bringing attention to anything DC as one way or the other. And Teen Titans Go, while I've only watched like 2 episodes ever, it's apparently very popular. So
I've watched it before. I mean, it's definitely kid oriented and like goofy and but poop humor, but like it's goofy. It's funny.
I actually saw. I've only seen like 2 episodes, but I've seen the movie, and I actually thought the movie rocked.
The movie was pretty funny.
Yeah. So I think because it's something that's continuing, that's labeled as Elseworlds. Another example, Superman and Lois, which is a CW show. I actually most of the CW shows have been slowly getting canceled or finishing up. Like I know the Flash,
that might be the only one left. I think because the Flash is on its last season.
They're filming the last season right now, I think.
Yeah.
So like the next season of Flash will be it.
Arrow's done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was many seasons of the Legends of Tomorrow or whatever it was.
Actually went on for a while. I do think they ended it though. Okay. I'm not sure.
And then there was Stargirl, I think is one of them, right?
I never watched Stargirl.
And
I've never Stargirl, Black
show,
Lightning,
Batwoman, Black Lightning, yeah.
Batwoman. That so all the CW shows, which I always compared to the Snyderverse, CW shows rocked.
Yeah. Oh, I mean the only one I've ever religiously watched was The Flash, and I love that Flash show. Like it's amazing.
I agree. I like the Flash. I also liked Arrow a lot. But I like so anyway, I just think he's clarifying, okay, CW, cartoons, all that stuff that's pre-existed and continues to exist is Elseworlds.
Yeah.
Now, the tricky thing is getting into Shazam and the rest of these Snyderverse properties.
Yeah.
Because what he said, I can't help but kind of chuckle and like smirk at. So he said Shazam 2 with my boy, I'm going to forget his name though. Zach is whatever.
Zach Levi?
Yeah, that's it.
There we go.
Zach Levi. Shazam 2
whatever it is.
leads into The Flash. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think there's a credit scene that might hint at it.
Yeah.
I think Shazam Fury of the Gods is the honest to God last actual Snyderverse film, and that's his way of being like, it leads into Flash.
Yeah,
and he did say, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just feel like honestly he's probably like, or Warner Brothers was probably, because Warner Brothers is still behind all this, right? I mean, technically,
Warner Brothers is the one writing the check.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like they were like, listen, we filmed Shazam, everything's done. We want to still release this, and they were probably like, okay, whatever. Well, we'll just put it in credit scene. Hey, the Flash is here. Like, hey, or or it'll be like maybe the end credit scene will be the universe changing because of Flashpoint, and then we'll find out what happens in the Flash type thing.
That's a great credit scene. That's actually, what you just said? That's the Venom credit scene.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so he said the Flash is going to reboot the universe, and that's what that little universe bomb thing is, right?
Awesome.
There.
Because they're doing Flash. I mean, they're doing Flashpoint. That's exactly what happened in Flash. So that's awesome.
Which reminds me, I'm gonna text it to you in a bit or afterwards. But the Flash's pops have leaked, and like, it's awesome. I mean, this isn't a spoiler, but like, there's pops for both Snyderverse Batman and
Michael Keaton
Batman. So it's like, nice. And I'm not saying I'm probably gonna get that, but I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to just
Ben
point out is what
Ben Affleck gonna be in this? In the
I
Flash?
don't know. So that's dude. The Flash has had so many reshoots. Ben Affleck has shot for it. Michael Keaton has shot for it. I would not be shocked if Pattinson has shot for it. Like
yeah.
Like just if cameo even.
This is definitely gonna be like almost like a No Way Home type thing, where there's probably going to be multiple variants of each of the Flash, of Batman, of whoever else shows up in the movie. So in the trailer there was a second Flash, so
that's like that Flash is the Flash of Michael Keaton's universe, I'm pretty sure. Like,
okay.
I'm not positive. Like we still haven't had a real trailer for this movie. Like it's crazy.
We had that like teaser, yeah.
Right though, and so I don't know. I'm excited. James Gunn said it's the best comic book movie he's ever seen.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
What?
That's
like,
I mean, that's high praise for a guy that made Guardians of the Galaxy, probably one of my favorite Marvel movies. Like,
and arguably the best DC film, like in the Snyderverse, being the Suicide Squad. Like,
yeah,
he's a pretty good filmmaker, and like for him to say that is like he could have said a lot of different things. To be like, he could have been like, oh, it's a very exciting movie, or like, oh, it's a great way to wrap up a universe, something stupid like that. No, he said this is one of the greatest films he's ever seen. Yeah. Like, I wonder, that's hype.
I wonder if we'll get a CW Flash cameo, because Ezra Miller cameoed in the show.
I know.
So maybe we'll get a Grant Gustin. I'm
still curious if this movie ends with someone else taking the reins of Flash. Like,
I don't know, because he did release. They talked about Ezra Miller, and they were like, you know, Ezra's going through his or their you know, rehab / you know, whatever.
He's going through the
community service.
He's doing what he has to do to get better. And he said Ezra Miller is not out yet, I think is how he worded it, right? Like,
yeah, I think they were just like, you know, Ezra's he's they're not,
I don't know. Like it's sometimes Ezra Miller is a jackass off screen, but I mean, you know, roast me in the comments, I guess, but I don't think he's done anything like, I don't know, like Justin Roiland bad kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like
it was something like,
what it compares.
I don't know the exact detail. I meant to look it up before this, but it was like something about like not a cult, but he had like a following, and like he was like, or I think he goes, but I think he does they. Don't cancel us. I
think they is preferred. I'm not positive on that though.
There's so much going on, but don't cancel us.
Not unless you comment that we're canceled.
Not unless you say it. Yeah, and if you comment it, then fine, we'll go. But if you hit the like button, then we're good. But
then we're solid canceled.
But Ezra Miller started this, like, you know, I'm not even gonna go into. I'll put a
lot of drama.
I mean, a lot of drama. Yeah, let's just say that.
Yeah. So anyway, my point is, like, look, I've liked Ezra Miller's The Flash. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like in the movies. I don't know what exactly happened off screen enough to care whether or not he's canceled. I just more or less don't want him to keep delaying movies. Like, that's my thing.
That would make it 1,000 times harder. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons. It's not the only reason, because this year has been hell for DC. But like, that's one of the reasons this got delayed at one point. I'm pretty sure.
Because there's just been so many delays because of Ezra.
Right, like they had to, because they couldn't, like, it was just bad timing kind of a thing. So anyway, they got to sort it out. And whatever they do, like, I trust Gunn's judgment. And I also, like, so going into that, he also said Zach Levi and Aquaman, who is
Jason Momoa.
He said none of those guys are confirmed and none of those guys are out. And I think that's interesting, considering the reboot, quote unquote, goes into Blue Beetle and goes into Aquaman. Too.
Yeah,
like, so again, that's my thing. If you tell me that Momoa is out on Aquaman in a year, I'm gonna be pissed, and I don't think I'm gonna go see Aquaman 2 because of that reason.
If it's another guy, yeah. If it's just another random Joe you know.
No, but like, I don't even think I want to see Aquaman 2 this year, like, because I don't trust that it's just gonna be not canon in a year.
Oh yeah.
So that's, I don't know. So apparently though, the Flash is going to literally become Chapter 1 DCU, right? Like these four movies have to get released, but they're going to fall under this umbrella somehow.
Okay. Huh. I mean, I could see how they fit Blue Beetle in, because Blue Beetle hasn't been made in live action yet, but like, we already have Jason Momoa's Aquaman, so I mean, I understand they're going to do this whole universe reset, but it's going to be weird them being, because I'm sure they've shot some, if not all, of Aquaman, if it's coming out next December.
I'm pretty sure Aquaman's done, and and obviously so is Shazam, and that's like Shazam, and I'm pretty sure he said this in the thing, but Shazam's never interacted with anyone.
Yeah, no.
So you can actually
easily
just have him in whatever universe if you choose. But that's if you want to keep doing Shazam movies. Like if you don't have Shazam at all, like that's different entirely.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's interesting. I also like to skip Creature Commandos. Waller is going to be a live action series, which is technically going to be the first live action DCU film or project.
Yeah.
And it's going to be with I had her name up, but Viola Davis. Viola Davis,
who
plays her in the Suicide Squad series, is going to be that character again. So like,
and the people from sorry to cut you off, and the people from Peacemaker are going to be in it too. Like Peacemaker's crew are going to be in it as well.
That's cool. I still gotta watch Peacemaker, but like my point is, Zack Snyder, not him, but like the Snyderverse is going to still have its fingers in this universe, kind of a thing.
Oh yeah,
and Waller being the first live action DCU project is just confirmation of that. So very much you can bring back Jason Momoa's Aquaman, you can bring back Zachary Levi's Flash, you can bring back Ezra Miller's Flash, Shazam for Levi. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
they could easily just be like, some of the Batman, Batman's, person changed, but Waller's still the same, or Aqua, like you said, like they could easily just be like, they just didn't change, they just stayed the same. They're whatever.
I mean, Marvel's done that, hasn't it?
Like, probably, yeah. I mean, with I mean, they're going to be doing it with Harrison Ford. With
right, we've got a new General Ross. Marvel switched actors for War Machine.
Is it Rhodey?
Rhodey. So like, it's not crazy to be like, oh, a new person plays the Flash or a new person plays Wonder Woman or whoever. It's just, again, releasing the films this year, I just hate the idea. Like, either don't use those characters again and just say they're floating around in the DCU, or do it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know. I'm fucking talking about.
One thing I wanted to say real quick before we jump into the other ones, I really like these. They're not doing like phase, it's chapter 1, and then it has like a theme, like gods and monsters. So like we're meeting, these quote unquote gods on Earth, like not on Earth, but gods in the DCU. Like Superman is, has always been referred to as a god in the eyes of, us. And the Lanterns are like space god, they're space police, but they're magical beings, and the Paradise Lost, like the Themyscirians or whatever they're called, the Wonder Woman people, or Amazonians. There we go. They're like super powered women that are basically gods and indestructible and all this stuff. And I'm really excited for Booster Gold because that seems awesome. And I didn't really know who that was at first, and then I saw a breakdown of it. I'm like, that seems hilarious and awesome and right up James Gunn's alley. Same thing with the Authority and Creature Commandos. But sorry, good.
No, I was just gonna say Booster Gold is it's another conversation that we haven't really talked about, but like, how much of this is Gunn gonna do himself? Like, the only thing he's confirmed is Superman Legacy, which I'm excited to talk about, but Booster Gold is very much like very James Gunn, but also he is very excited about that. I already forget what it is, but the Authority.
The Authority, yeah.
He is like,
I read something there, or the breakdown video I was watching. They said it was like a darker, grittier, not afraid to get their hands dirty Justice League type thing. Like, they're good guys. They're not the Suicide Squad. Like, they're good guys. Like, they're heroes, but they're like not afraid to get dirty. Like
I said, I'm just curious how much of it he wants to do himself, because Superman Legacy is him, and that's him. It's just all him.
Yeah.
The Authority sounds like it's a him project too.
I mean, Booster it sounds Gold. Exactly like Guardians of the Galaxy type.
Yeah.
Deal. Like, these characters that nobody really knows about, this group of ragtag, heroes.
But I also know he's very excited to let other people. That's the thing that could really take off about the DC universe is Gunn is super stoked to let filmmakers do their thing.
Yeah.
And which is the big thing that Marvel apparently doesn't let.
Well, yeah.
And so like it could, like, with his supervision and letting like people that he likes and picks and trusts letting them take like advantage of this, these movies could be wild.
Yeah.
Like it could be really interesting. And I'm excited. It's crazy.
I know other than Superman, he also is attached. He's not directing, but he wrote all 7 episodes of the Creature Commanders or whatever the Creature Commandos. So he's got his fingers in that too.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, I mean, obviously he'll be like he'll be the Feige and produce all these. So he'll have his little paws and everything, but
he's gonna, absolutely. And it sounds pretty intense. Like, do you want to say anything about Creature Commandos? Because I don't have anything to say.
No, I don't really know much other than it's an animated ragtag group of monsters basically that fight stuff. So it sounds cool.
Superman Legacy is apparently not based off of. He specifically said none of the things were quote unquote based off of.
It's like inspired by.
Inspired by, yes. So it's Superman Legacy is inspired by All-Star Superman, which is actually the only Superman comic I've ever read.
Oh.
And it's like the most down to earth. This is why people like Superman comic of all time. And just to say that it's based off of that it's so exciting for a minimal DC fan, let alone what I'm sure actual DC fans feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like basing whatchamacallit, basing Infinity War off of all those, great comics from the 80s and 90s type deal. Like everybody, all the DC fans now are like, oh, they're actually going for, what we want and not what Warner Brothers thinks is
right. They're not just doing Lex Luthor kind of a thing, right?
Exactly.
Like they have an actual oh, this is what Superman represents. This is what he's supposed to be.
I hope they bring in I hope they bring in like an obscure villain. Like they don't just do a Lex Luthor or like I don't know. That's the only it's Brainiac or something like that. I hope they do something.
I think they're gonna do that with pretty much all of these. If I had to bet, I don't think we get any. The only thing I would disagree with is maybe the Batman Part 2, but. First of all, it's a sequel, so we already got the first villain, and second of all, it's Elseworld, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like
for the Batman Brave and the Bold, I hope it's not like the Joker or the Riddler or Penguin or I hope it's something like Clayface or like something or like Calendar Man or something weird like that's.
I think so. If we can just jump into it, Batman the Brave and the Bold is. I mean, I'm so stoked. It's going to be based off of Grant or influenced by Grant Morrison's Batman, which I don't even know if I've ever read, but is like one of the most beloved Batman like volumes of all time. But it's going to be about Batman and Robin, Damian Wayne Robin. Now, the crazy thing about this is this is the first time we'll get a real Robin on screen.
Yeah.
That's not a 30-year-old man pretending to be 15.
It doesn't have bat nipples.
Have nipples.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm pumped for a real Batman and Robin, let alone Batman and Damian Wayne, because Damian's always a kick-ass, smart-ass kid.
He's a little shithead. He's
he's the best little shithead.
Because he's Talia al Ghul's son, right? Or like Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul's son. But Bruce didn't know, but Bruce Wayne didn't know about him, right?
Yes. So like Bruce didn't know he existed until he was already like a young assassin and he was like 6 or 8 or whatever. And it was like, oh, I gotta be a dad now. And also he can go kill people that are 3 times older than him. So why don't you be a Robin? And it's like perfect.
Yeah. One thing I really like, I mean, I'm sure these like logos and whatever, or like all these movie logos will change over time, but the Batman one looks very like 60s-esque. Like it doesn't look dark and gritty and like a brooding. Right. It seems like it might be like a bit of a joyful Batman. Not saying Batman's going to be joyful, but the movie itself isn't going to be, the dark streets of Gotham and blah, blah, like, it seems like it's getting back to its campier, like.
And that's what made Batman and Robin like I've read a bunch of Batman and Robin comics. And whenever you read Batman and Robin, that's what makes it a fun comic is you have Batman who's awesome and Batman. Like, do you have to say anything other than he's Batman? And then, but like the point of Robin in a Batman and Robin comic is comic relief.
Yeah,
like
he's the
you're not trying to do Dark Knight with a little kid.
Yeah, it would be tough to do. Yeah, it would be tough to have or the Batman. Like it would be tough to have those type of movies and then have little Robin run around like zoinks Batman, holy
And it's funny because like I actually just we didn't rewatch the movie, but we were watching did you ever watch Nostalgia Critic?
Oh, Nostalgia Critic. Yeah.
We have been binging his old stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
pretty good.
it's just funny, like Batman Michael Keaton was considered a dark movie at the time. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
but like that's the kind of thing is we have never had a middle ground Batman.
Yeah.
Because like you either had what at the time was like
Goofy.
dark, and then you have what's super goofy with the
Adam
follow-up
West
sequels that no one likes.
Oh yeah, well, I'm thinking like you have like the '60s Adam West like
also super goofy,
super campy. They're climbing up buildings with a rope and shit like that, and then you get the Michael Keaton Batmans, which in comparison to Adam West and all them, not super dark, but a little bit grittier, but still goofy. I mean, Jack Nicholson's Joker literally has like a 12-foot gun in the one scene. Like,
right. I think we'll get something more along the lines of Burton Keaton's Batman 89. I think that's more
not
or less
silly, not silly, but like it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Correct. I think that has to be the tone, or Batman and Robin doesn't work.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. You can't have, like you said, you can't have Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Rises with holy Riddler Batman, he's doing this and that. Like you can't really
holy rusted metal Batman.
And not even that like this Robin has to have that type of mentality, but he's gonna be razzing Batman the whole time, like screw you dad, blah blah blah, type thing. So
it's yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I'm pumped. That's an awesome concept. I think that's very much what fans want. I think that's what makes Gunn work is he's really listening to what people are clamoring for. And just as much, like if we fast forward, we already talked about Mr. Gold a little bit, so I mean we can go back to it. But Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow,
yeah,
he's basing that off a comic I've never read and don't know about. But I would assume that the key thing here is he's going to use the actress that plays Supergirl in the upcoming Flash movie, which one of the big things with Warner Brothers is people are all pissy that they canceled Batgirl, which I mean, I was too. Like, don't get me wrong, it felt weird. But Supergirl, everyone's like, oh, the Supergirl movie is going to be canceled. They had a quote unquote Supergirl movie planned. This isn't confirmed by any means, but by announcing a Supergirl movie, I'm going to really assume that they're planning something with the actress that is going to be in this Flash movie.
Yeah.
And the reason being, not just because she's in the Flash, but because like this woman, this real world person was like promised like keys to the kingdom kind of a thing. Like you are going to be this character, and to do that, and then say no, and then be like, oh, but there's a Supergirl movie coming out.
We're recasting you.
DC might be canceled for eternity if they did that.
Yeah, that would. I mean, they would have a huge lawsuit on their hands, more than likely from the, if not from the actress, from her agents or something like that. Like that would be so shitty, being like, hey, you're gonna be Supergirl in this movie, and then we'll have you be Supergirl for the rest of time until your character dies or whatever, or until we're done making movies. Oh, by the way, we were just kidding. You're gonna be in this one movie, and then we're gonna replace you. Like that would be a ginormous dick move.
Just kidding. We recast you before your first movie came out.
Yeah. Just kidding. You suck.
That would be wild. And that's what I don't even remember who the actress is, but I just remember being excited. Like Supergirl in a movie is probably going to be a cool thing. This movie, Gunn sounded it's like a grittier movie, so that's cool. I don't know, and that's the other shitty thing about this whole thing is, the Supergirl and the Flash, I'm pretty sure is in the Keaton universes, so they really could do something else entirely. We don't know. It's wild.
I guess we'll just, it's God, they really dug themselves into it with this shit.
But I'm convinced he didn't have to do Supergirl. He could have done any female. Like DC has no shortage of female heroes.
Yeah, no, right? He could have rebooted Wonder Woman. He could have, done something. I don't know.
I
Black
think
Canary's one of them, right?
Correct. I think I'm gonna real quick live look it up, so I'm not. This person isn't. Oh, of course it's gonna give me the show. Gosh darn it. Blah 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 blah. Sasha Call. Sorry, I tried. She I gotta think that James Gunn saw Flash because again, he's watched the movie, he's seen this Flash movie, he watched the movie, loved her as Supergirl, and said, "Give this girl a movie."
Yeah,
so I gotta assume that's what's happening here.
I mean, I hope so. I hope so because that would really be terrible to the actress. So
it just wouldn't make sense. That's
it
all.
would be a Warner Brothers move, 100%. But I couldn't see James Gunn approving it. Like if it was just Warner Brothers as they are right now, I could totally see them doing that. But I feel like James Gunn's and Peter
right. I really do
are like no. Like we're gonna give her chance. We're gonna
And that's I really think he's smarter than that. And I gotta assume that he saw it, he liked her, and he's like, boom, bring her back.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know.
I'm
rooting for you, Gunn. I'm rooting for you.
One thing I noticed real quick that's random that I always think is weird. Aquaman comes out on Christmas. Like I always find that so weird when movies come out on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just sent Brendan the leaked pops, and it's there's a
hell yeah, that looks awesome.
It's a good set. It's definitely a good set. I'm intense. And then you can see the one that I'll talk about right now is you can see Supergirl right there. And I think she looks like a cool looking Supergirl based off of that pop. Anyway, I hope she's Supergirl because I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she sucks and I'm like, no, get her out of there. I don't care.
There's pretty much 2 more things on this list that I or I guess 3. All that's left pretty much. We don't know much about Creature Commandos and the Authority. The Lanterns, it seems like it's going to be pretty cool. He said it's going to be a True Detective style type show.
I don't know what that means.
It was a show on HBO. It's like it's about detectives. But it's like an anthology series. Like each season's different with different characters, almost kind of like American Horror Story. Like the first season's Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey, and they're like, kind of like on the edge, dirty cops type deal, and they like, infiltrate a drug gang and stuff like that. I haven't seen the whole season, but I've seen bits and pieces. But it's gonna be obviously they're not gonna be doing drug stuff with the Green Lanterns, but it's gonna be Hal Jordan and John Stewart, right? Isn't that the other guy?
Yep.
It's gonna be both of them as like the lanterns. I guess they're like I think he said they're like investigating something on Earth. So I think
cool. I think he said like the word he used that was stuck with me is it was very terrestrial, and that to me sounds like it's going to be very Earth focused, which is fine. I think if you're going to do a series for Green Lanterns, it makes sense to start it on Earth and then space is the next step. You don't want to jump the gun.
Start in space. You don't want to you don't want to Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, and not saying that it was Ryan Reynolds' fault, but you don't want to Green Lantern that shit, and then
that's another reason though. Again, Crisis is coming. It's absolutely because there's no way that dude, Ryan Reynolds will absolutely be coming back as Green Lantern. You
1,000%.
Mark my words. Like it's just...
and he will gladly do it. Like I think people will riot in the streets if Ryan Reynolds does not show up at least for like 5 seconds, like Brad Pitt level cameo in Deadpool 2. Like I'd love to see him just show up for like, hey, did I miss just goofily just show up.
I almost want like a cameo to the style of like, again, this is not how Crisis works, but like people are being dropped off in a room and you're seeing different Green Lanterns and it's literally just Ryan Reynolds in like a brown leather jacket from like the pilot jacket he wore. It's just him, absolutely normal person. He looks around the room and just goes, oh hell no. And then he like green lights up or something.
That would be perfect. And James Gunn would totally be down for that. Yes. That was something he'd be like, oh yeah.
So he's absolutely coming back. I want something like that to happen. Crisis is coming, dude. It's multiverse is so hot right now.
Yeah.
James Gunn is very smart for not doing it in chapter 1. Like he'll get there and it'll probably be like 2035 or something.
Yeah, we'll be in our 40s by the time we'll be on episode 9,000 by the time Crisis happens on the big screen. But it's something that it's something that they're slowly building up to, that they should be exactly like the MCU did. The MCU introduced all these staple characters throughout, you know, a couple movies, whether or not they had 1 or 2 movies, and then started teaming them up. I think that was Warner Brothers' big issue, was they saw what the MCU was doing, and they're like, all right, well, we'll come out with a Man of Steel movie, and then we're just going to do Batman vs. Superman, and then we're just going to do Justice League. It was like, all right, you got to take it step by step, like introduce each character. Yes, most people know who these people are, but not everybody going to the movies knows who these characters are. So you got to introduce, maybe not do an origin story, but at least introduce it in their own movie.
And that's what I was going to say, was he's already said that Superman, I believe this was the only one he said this, but he said Superman Legacy is not an origin movie.
Yeah.
From what he's told us about Lanterns, about Batman and the Brave and the Bold, about Supergirl, even, like, maybe Supergirl is actually, but I don't think really any of these are an origin story. Yeah, and that I give him credit for, because like it's absolutely smart to go slow and build up these characters, but you don't have to start with the origin
at the actual beginning.
You can just start with Batman and Superman and Green Lantern and all. Like, we know who these characters are. We just don't know who yours are.
Like, I could see them doing a origin for Booster Gold or for Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
but like, because we don't know who they are. Like, you know, they're not the most popular characters. But yeah, but like, everybody knows what happened to Superman. He was an alien from another planet that got sent to Earth because their planet was exploding. Everybody knows Batman's story. His parents died, he got shot in an alleyway. He saw it. He got all depressed, became super rich, or inherited their stuff, and, you know, became Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. I think dude, this has me pumped. Like, really pumped for the DC movies.
And the Paradise Lost sounds pretty interesting too. He said it's going to be like a Game of Thrones style, you know, like fighting for power. Yeah, with the
Amazonians.
Yeah. Amazonians. Something like that. Some with Jeff Bezos.
Actually, don't do nothing. But yeah, Jeff Bezos. I heard you. Oh man. But yeah, no, I think that sounded really cool. I think that's another good, like, here's Wonder Woman, but we don't have her yet, so you don't get Wonder Woman.
You get everyone. You get the whole. You get the not the species, but the whole. What's the race? They're not. It's
race?
Not a race. No. Is it a? No. It's like a
species. Then, if they're not a race, they're a species. No, that's a race.
That's a race. Yeah,
you might want to cut this out.
No,
more so my ignorance than anything else.
We were literally offending every single
gender. There, now we've offended everyone.
Yeah, religion. No,
there it is.
Forget it. But they're you know, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
I will say one serious thing. Whether it's season 1 or not, this show has to be what introduces DCU's Wonder Woman at some point. Like, it's you don't have an Amazonian show and not introduce her.
Yeah,
like, I understand it's not about her.
No,
but at the end it has to be. Like, the whole purpose of this is who she is. Eventually.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not going to bring in the entire Amazonian, you know, people, to not have you know, just Wonder Woman in because they can't have Justice League and the Amazonians, like, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
doesn't flow.
Imagine, although we had the Wakandans in the Avengers.
I mean, yeah, that is true. It is very true.
And we literally actually had an army of Amazonians in Zack Snyder's Justice League. It just sucked, so no one cared.
Yeah. Although I liked the Snyder cut. I'm not gonna lie. There were certain points that I was like the coolest scene was when the Flash turned back time. Yeah. Like that whole scene, I was like, oh my God, this is a masterpiece. And then there were some scenes where I'm like, all right, this is way too fucking long. They could have cut this out. Like, I feel like that movie focused a lot on the Flash, and I love the Flash. He's like my favorite DC character. But like the scene where he saves Iris out of the car.
Yeah,
like that was scene. Awesome. Like, it's so cool. You see how fast he is. Like, because like they show it in the CW show, but they don't have the budget like that
Right.
Warner Brothers movie has. So like the fact that like the car is just slowly inching forward and he's just like, oh, hot dog bite. Oh, I guess I got to save you now. And like just like pulls her out of the car, puts like, oh, it's so cool. Sorry. I'm gonna
I like that too.
after this.
I think the Snyder cut is better than the original Justice
Oh
League.
yeah.
I mean, I've sat on this podcast and complained about a 3-hour movie in an unreleased episode so far.
James Cameron.
I mean, the Snyderverse cut is like 6 hours. I just, it's better, but like
it is way too long. Yeah, there are some things that
it's not, and it really isn't a show. Like you can't just be like, oh, I'll to be continued. Like, and we get up and watch it tomorrow. I mean, you can, and obviously
that's what they were originally going to do, was
I know.
split it up into like, I think like a 4-part series or something like that. And then,
I think they did it because of like copyright reasons. Like, the actors were like, we didn't sign on for a show and we'll sue you because it's not a show, kind of a thing, or something.
Exactly.
Like that. A whole bunch of bullshit that whatever.
Actors. I think we talked a little bit about Booster Gold, but
yeah, I don't really, I mean, so I don't have, you hit the nail on the head on what that character is and the reason I'm excited for it. I have nothing else to add for that.
I forget if I said this, but the one comparison I heard, the breakdown guy I was watching, it's I usually watch New Rockstars. I'm usually a New Rockstars guy, but I'm watching this channel called Screen Crush. So thank you, Ryan Airy from Screen Crush. You've been informing me a lot of stuff. Don't worry, Eric Voss at New Rockstars. I'm still watching your stuff. He said that Booster Gold is basically like a wimpy Kang. Like he travels back, because Booster Gold travels back in time from like the 31st century or whatever with all this technology to become a superhero in our modern age.
Right.
But he's back at home. He's just a wimp that, time traveled. So like they're basically, he's basically just like a wimp, like a good wimpy Kang. Like
it's such a James Gunn character.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I guess that's just, and that's this whole thing is cool because he's not just letting them, he's doing Superman and Batman, which is great, but he's not just like, oh, focus on that, do Superman, Batman right now. Like
he's introducing these, D list characters with these A-list, characters.
He's expanding the universe. I mean, you got to remember, Iron Man was like a C-list character in Marvel when that launched.
I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, I guess they technically did start with Hulk. 2003 claymation Ang Lee Hulk,
there you go.
Yeah. But like you'd think MCU would have started with like, Captain America or Edward Norton Hulk or something like that, but they started with Iron Man, and look how it turned out. Iron Man's literally like probably everyone's favorite MCU character now. Like,
so it's curious, like where does that like kind of thing happen here? Is I like, as I'm sure Creature Commandos is going to be interesting, but it's an animated series, so I find it hard to believe that that's going to be like the new Iron Man kind of thing comes from there. Maybe the next big character comes from Authority. Like, we don't know. Like, Booster Gold could be a huge hit, but like, it's like you could see this like sacrificial, like, I have to do this for today, so you guys get to experience tomorrow kind of a thing. Like, like there's so much bullshit that could happen that could be so funny, but like actually work. So
it's got his fingerprints all over it, and he's gonna work his magic. And I guess last thing is Swamp Thing.
And that's I mean, this, I hope it's just a straight up horror film, to be honest.
I mean, that's, they totally now have the backing to make this like a creepy, weird, scary I almost said Marvel movie, superhero movie. Like because we've never really had, I mean, they made the New Mutants, but that wasn't really, I mean, I didn't see it, but like I've heard it was complete ass.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. But like this would be the first true scary like comic book movie. And I think that'd be awesome. And James Gunn is the perfect person to do it, because before he started doing like superhero movies, he did not horror, but like schlock horror type movies. So he'd be the perfect one to spearhead something like that.
And that's like, I mean, he knows emotional range, I think is the best way to put it. And that's Swamp Thing. I don't know, everything about him, but scary character, universe bending kind of stuff. And he's Swamp Thing. He's a monster. Like Gods and Monsters. He is a monster.
I mean, he's basically, I mean, we saw a glimpse of him
in.
He's Man Thing. Yeah. He's DC's Man Thing.
And that's so it'll be curious. And that's another reason, like, again, I don't know the exact details, but I'm pretty sure Swamp Thing is universe related. And it's just, we got like crisis is coming, bros. It's coming.
It's on its way.
There's gonna be a crisis. I can't wait to hear someone say that word. That like we gotta be careful of a crisis thing that on the way.
Crisis. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Like you said, that's the thing about this slate is James Gunn at the helm is how this works. I mean, it's funny. The most questionable things are the things right at top, right where the universal reset button is. Yep. It's like, once we get past that, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Once we get past, I mean, I didn't even realize that Blue Beetle was coming out this year. Like, like there's been no press on that.
There's a poster hanging at my movie theater for it, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's just
Do we
like
even
a
know
cartoon
who's
beetle
playing
symbol.
Blue Beetle?
It's public. I don't know who it is, but like, it's a thing.
I mean, that's August. That's not too far away. Like, it's like a couple months away.
I'm not gonna. He's a very talented actor, I believe, with a name that I just am not gonna say because I can't pronounce it.
Blue. We went away. Blue
We'll see.
Oh my God! Wait. Is that his? Oh no. Okay. Oh okay. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're talking about. I thought it was this Harvey Guillen guy. He's from I think he's just in the movie. He's just probably like his friend or whatever. But he's in We Are What We Do in the Shadows, which is show.
Yeah.
He's like the familiar.
For
a second I thought he was playing. I was like, what? He's playing Blue Beetle? Like, it's but no, it's Zolo Maridueña.
You know what? I think that sounded pretty. I'm gonna say Marduena.
George Lopez is in it.
I took French in high school. Owen took Latin.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is the villain, Carapax, the Indestructible Man. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. That's funny.
That has Warner Brothers written all over it.
That does. That really does. Or Sony, Yeah,
or Sony. Yeah.
One of the same.
I just love the real quick the tagline in the IMDb thing. The plot for the movie. A Mexican teenager finds an alien beetle that gives him superpowered armor.
You nailed it.
You nailed it right on the head, Warner Brothers.
You did the thing. But that's actually, you're on the IMDb page. Mm-hmm. That has to be an official poster because that's what's hanging up at my theater. The movie theater? The thing on the IMDb page.
Imagine like the movie theater just made their own poster. And we're like, yeah, this should be coming out this year.
Fucking who cares?
I mean,
might come out.
I could see Blue Beetle being a good movie. He's a cool character.
I think Blue Beetle.
I've only seen him in the video games, but
for anyone that doesn't know, Blue Beetle is a very cool character. If you have the time to watch Young Justice on HBO Max, he's a very cool character in that. Young Justice is a ongoing or finished, I'm not sure, cartoon that's kind of Teen Titans-esque grown up.
Yeah.
He's a main character in one of the later seasons. Very cool. I like him a lot. He's essentially a Venom, is the best way to put it. Like,
he's like a
the
host,
Beetle is sentient, so it's like the Beetle is like the symbiote.
Okay.
But he's never not been a hero. Like, he's never an anti-hero or anything. Like, but it's just he has a hard time controlling / talking to the Beetle is the best way I can say.
I didn't know the Beetle was alive. I knew like it like attaches to him and like, creates the suit on him, but that's pretty cool.
I should say it is alive in Young Justice, and my understanding of how the character works. That's what he very much seems like, a more superhero version of Venom.
I was gonna say the only time I've ever really seen Blue Beetle was in the Injustice games.
Oh yeah, the fight 'em games.
Like the DC Mortal Kombat games. Which he was pretty cool in that. Like I love the character in that. So
yeah, I haven't played that in forever. I used to have that on PS4, but I actually think I sold it back in my GameStop days of
is
like, I could take $5.
Yeah. I was like I never really played the game that much, but I've watched like the cinematic like the cutscene movie type things.
Yeah.
Which I it's pretty cool. Good
Neat.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm just watching the cutscene on IMDb and it's showing Pattinson as Batman. It's just this. I like him as Batman.
I know.
Just kind of wish
I wish they would have kept him in, but I'm sure, like we said, I'm sure there'll be a crisis and you know, Pattinson will be working with whoever's playing Batman and Batman Brave and the Bold. Maybe we'll get like a Ben Affleck cameo, maybe a Christian Bale. Obviously, we're getting a Michael Keaton Batman again. So
I think this is my issue, and so I guess this kind of wraps the whole thing up, right? Like, I don't dislike having multiple things. More is better. Like you get to pick and choose, kind of a thing, a la carte, right? But when it's being released publicly, like at the same time, I think I just wish you picked, right? Like either everything be not canon, like there is no canon, or it all be canon. You know what I mean? Like
you reset everything and make it all one thing, or you pick
have thousands of threads.
Pick and choose,
exactly. And that's it. Like to tell me, like, oh no, it's all going to be one universe except the Joker, except the Batman. Like
that's where it gets a little gets a little hairy. Yeah, it gets a little
It's gonna have to be one hell of a trailer to get me to go see Batman Part 2.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, 0 inches in Joker 2. 0.
No,
absolutely none.
No. I honestly thought the first one was a one and done type thing. Like I thought it was just
it should have, unless that was going to be, and then it clearly wasn't. But unless they were gonna tie that into something in another movie, like I didn't want more Joker movies. Like
no.
I was surprised they were able to pull off that Joker movie as it was.
The only reason they pulled it off is because people went to see it as a movie, not a DC movie. You know what I mean? Like they went to see it as because Joaquin Phoenix played it as, you know, more art housey, and you know he was fucking dancing in a bathroom and, you know, celebrating his first kill and all this stuff. And the whole like he had a condition where that's where the laugh came from. I was like, all right, like
it's what, like it was. But I enjoyed it for what it was, especially at the end where it's like, oh, he could just be lying. This is all a story.
It could have just made it up. Yeah,
and that's what, like, that was very Joker. And but like I don't want more Joker. That's like Sony keep releasing these villain movies. Like I don't want more of these. I don't want one of them.
I don't want Michael Keaton to form a team with Morbius. Like
on the flip side, give me more Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah,
that'll eat up.
Throw some more Keaton Batman in there. We're good to go.
No, the whole thing.
Throw him in a bird. Throw him in another winged animal costume. I'll take a pass. If he's not, as long as he's not in the MCU, I'll take a pass.
As long as he's not leading a movie in the MCU. He could be a villain. He was a great villain. Yeah.
But I don't want to see him in a BS Sinister Six.
Six out of here.
Yeah. Get out of here.
He's gonna go fight Andrew Garfield and be like, oh, I just hate all Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah. You hate Tony Stark, not Spider-Man, you bitch.
I guess I got a real quick wrap up by saying I'm a goddamn hypocrite, because I would absolutely take more Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man at the same time, and not more Batman.
Hey, I mean, but it worked. But like, I don't know. Marvel proved they can do it well, so now we're like, hey, we want it more. This has to prove itself. This hasn't proved itself yet, so that's where the issue comes in.
But Brendan, Sony's the one doing the Andrew stuff, and they've proven nothing.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, because Andrew Garfield's apparently going to be in the Venom movies now, or whatever, right? Or he's going to be the Spider-Man in that Spider-Verse.
Right. He's going to be the Peter of the Venomverse. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's
so.
Yeah. I like the idea. I like the idea. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we're dipping our toes in the old hypocrite bathtub at this point.
But that's so clearly because that's our guy.
That's all.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
we already
we
talked about like,
Yeah.
like I like the Venom movies because I like Venom. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like sit here and tell you they're great movies on their own.
No.
And it's the same, like, I guess that's the argument, is that Batman is a good movie. I don't know. It's look, I'm a hypocrite sometimes. That's fine. Fuck you. That's how it is. Get out of here.
Get it. I will rip your eyeballs out. Well, from Always Sunny.
Yeah. I will come at you like the mighty of Thor and 1,000 suns.
Golden God, D, a golden God. My neighbor's probably like, "What the hell is going on over there?"
Yep.
But yeah,
Stars of Marvel. That's like and subscribe.
Episode 26 in the books. Can James Gunn and Peter Safran save the DCU?
The last thing, absolute last thing. Did you see someone commented on our last DC episode? And the title of that episode was can James Gunn save the DCEU or whatever? This person just commented, "No, he can't," or "No."
Hey, sir, you have your opinion.
Strong argument.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But all right, that'll do it for episode 26, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.